Let's learn the loops in the Python. This is the continuation of the last lecture, which was on if-else statement. So today, what are the table contents? We will be learning about the loops, and before loops, we will look about range. What is the range? Because it is extensively used in loops. So then we will be working on for loops and while loops. Very important two topics, and there is a quiz on the loops. So loops, before loops, let's start with the range. Sometimes you might want to repeat a operation, given operation many times. Repeated executions like this are performed by loops. Yes, for example, if you want to do something multiple number of times, that can be done by loops. We will look at two types of loops, for and while loops. Before we discuss loops, let's discuss the range object. It is helpful to think of the range object as an ordered list. For now, let's look at the simplest case. If we would like to generate a sequence that contains three elements ordered from 0 to 2, we simply use the following command: range 3 0 to 3. So if we say range 3, this is from 0 to 3, but 3 is not included. The range is basically n minus 1. So 0, 1 and 2. So there will be total 3 numbers: 0, 1, 2, range of 3, but 3 will not be included. This is important. Then for loop. The for loop enables you to execute a code block multiple times. For example, you would use this if you would like to print out every element in a list. Let's try a for loop to print all the years presented in the list dates. So we have a list dates, that is 1982, 1980 and 1973 in the form of list, and we have square brackets for the lists. Then we say n is equal to length of the dates. We know that it will give us the length of the dates. So what is the length of the date? Length is 0, 1 and 2. So then we will use the for loop. For I in range n, the range of the n, what print date of I. So for example, I in range n, so initially it will be, now let's go and check into the diagram if available. So initially for I in range n, for example, dates, we have like 1982. So 1982 is I0. So from this date I, print date I, it will print date 0 and so on. So let's try the same code in the Python tutor as well for the clarification. Python tutor for the visualization of the code. Let's visualize it. Okay, next. So it has created dates as a list 0, 1, 2. N is equal to length of the dates. So n is 3 because the total number are 1, 2 and 3. For I in range n, n is 3. So we know that range n means 0, 1, 2. Next, print date of I. So initially the value of I is 0, so it will print date of I, date of 0, which is 1982, and so on. For I, now I is 1, so it will print date 1, which is 1980. Now date I is 2, so print date 2, which is 1973. And that's end of the course. End of the code. Okay, so now we got the concept. Let's move forward. For I in range 0 to 8, print I. So if we do this simply, we will get from I0 to I in range this, print I. So I will move on from 0 to 7 because 8 will not be included, so 0 up to 7. Again, if you are not clear about it, you can use Python Python tutor visualizer anytime. Now dates, for date is equal to 1982. Okay, the same list, but in Python we can directly access the elements in the list as follows. So instead of taking I and then printing like here what we did, here in the for loop we had like I, and I is in the range of n, which was 0, 1, 2. So I was an integer, and we iterated it and indexed in the dates I. So index 0, 1982, index 1 and index 2. So now instead of indexing using the I, we can directly access the element of the list, and we can say dates is equals to 1982, 1980, 1973, and then for year in dates, year is any random variable. You can say x in dates, print years, print year. Okay, so it will print this thing. So let's visualize it in the Python tutor as well. Edit this code. Okay, and then visualize it. Now dates, it has generated a list 1982, 80 and 73. Now for year in dates, year in dates, so it has taken a random variable, but it will iterate, it will get access directly the elements of the list. Next, so year is 1982, it has selected first one 1982 and then print year, so it will print 1982 and so on. Got it? Let's say it's done. Let's say I say instead of year I take any random variable. I say let's for example hour in dates, and I say print hour.